All right, absolute value. There's two different things that I'm going to ask or want you to know about absolute value. But here's a big hint. First thing, no matter what, is you're going to have to be able to find the vertex. So to find the vertex, we use the bad teenager analogy. Remember what that is. In the house, do the opposite. Outside the house, you don't. So let's find the vertex. If I have an absolute value equation, the absolute value symbols make a house. So inside the house, I do the opposite. So my vertex, that's why I write a V in front of it, is a point with an X and a Y coordinate. What's inside the house is with the X, so I'm going to do the opposite. I see a 2, the opposite is -2. Outside the house, we're adding a 3. I don't do the opposite, so it's just 3. -2, 3 is the vertex of this equation. Let's try another one. Inside the house. Now I see a 3 over here, but that is not affecting my vertex because it's not inside the house. Sorry. So I see a -1. The opposite is +1. So my vertex is a +1. And outside the house, what am I adding or subtracting? A 4. Okay, let's try it again. Inside the house, do the opposite, -5. Outside the house, I don't see anything outside the house. This is the same thing as +0. So I'm going to put a 0 here. Be very careful in a sample like number 4, an equation like number 4. The 2 does not affect my vertex. But what's inside the house? Many times you want to say 1, but that's not correct. The question is asking, what is added or subtracted from X? Nothing. If you want to look at it this way, this may help. So my vertex is 0, -7. Now, what about the 2, you might say? Well, that only comes into play if I'm graphing it. But that was not the question. The question was, find the vertex. And I did. I found the vertex. Now, the next question might be, graph. So, I might need to graph an equation. Step 1 is find the vertex. We just learned how to do that. Step 2, find the slope. Notice over here, the graph of an absolute value is a V. So you have to keep that in mind, that when you see an equation, you have to know what shape am I expecting to graph. As soon as I see an absolute value, I know I'm graphing a V. Now, question 1, what's the vertex? Inside the house, you do the opposite. +3, whoops, let me fix that. +3, and outside the house, you don't do the opposite. So I'm going to write -1. There's my vertex. What is my slope? We learned with graphing lines, y equals mx plus b. M is your slope. Slope is the number being multiplied by x. In this case, my slope is 2. Or you could look at it as 2/1. So I'm going to start with my vertex. I'm going to make a dot or plot a point at 3, -1. 1, 2, 3, -1 is over here. I hope you can see this. All right, my slope is 2, or 2/1. So from this point, I'm going to go up 2 and over 1 on either side. Because I know if I just go up 2 and over 1, then I go up 2 and over 1. Whoop, that wasn't over quite enough. Yes, I can make a line, but I know I'm supposed to have a V. So I have to go up 2 and over the other direction 1. Up 2 and the other direction 1. And then you can see your V forming. And so I can take a ruler or I can hand draw it. We all know how bad I am at that, but I'll do my best. There's part of my V, There's the other part of my V, and do not forget your arrows. Very good. There we go. That's pretty much all we've had to work on absolute value. Find the vertex and be able to graph it. Very, very quickly, I want to ask you a quick question. We talked about the slope. Right here on number 2, I see I have a slope of 3. If I had asked you to graph it, you would plot 1, 4, and you would have a slope of 3. Up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1. And down on number 4, I see I have a slope of 2. So I would plot this point and just go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. What about number 1? I don't see a number there. There's an understood number there when it's not written, and that is 1. So for number 1 and also number 3, the slope would be 1. So if I were to graph these, I would just have to recognize that they have a slope of 1. And so I would just go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. And that's it for absolute value. All right.